Welcome to State of the Matters, where we break down issues shaping our nation. Now let's take a look at the top stories making headlines this hour. APC convention. Tinubu counters one-party state allegations. I share in your grief. Tinubu consoles el-rufai. Group urges Ibohu to focus on security concerns. Terrorists deserve rehabilitation, not death. Defense Chief. I am Kasitoni, and we will be right back after this break. Good to have you join us, Ojalo.
Thank you for having me, Cassie. It's my pleasure being here.
Happy weekend to you. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Now, APC had a convention yesterday, and one of the spokesperson, amiable president, actually took over the stage. The stage, yes. Tinubu, in a statement yesterday, he said that APC are practicing one-party system yes. And not. He actually denied the allegations that people are actually saying that they are not practicing. They are practicing one-party system, but he said they are not practicing one-party system. Now, what exactly are they practicing? Because already they are controlling 31 states. They have 31 states. They have the governors. They have almost all the senators. Approximately, they are in charge of over 86% of the affairs of this nation, of this country. Then a significant shift from their initial controlling, which in 2025 they were actually controlling 24. There are 24 states under APC, but in 2026 the number has increased. Since they are not practicing one-party system, what are they practicing? Because it's looking like they are practicing a de facto party system.
Well, the APC National Convention held in Abuja yesterday was a successful one, and we could see a number of governors and their co-hosts who really assembled and make it a very glamorous event. Talking about the 32 or 31 governors. Yes, even there was a previous analysis saying that it seems they are going to be 32. That is coming from our Senate President Akpabio, saying that the governors in APC are going to be 32 anytime soon, and is still counting. Well, the adjournment was raised in the House of Senate, and with their so-called cabinet and thereabouts. Looking at our dear president's statement, he has really stated so many facts which I really want to point out, and also let the president know that indeed no one will want to say that no corrupt leader or no criminal will agree that he or she is a criminal. Let's state the fact. I like the fact that he strongly rejected that claim that his administration is pursuing a one-party system. Definitely, but we should look at the fact. We should look at the reality of it, and we should look at where it is heading to. There was a recent allegation raised against the APC by an ADC chairperson, raising a claim of Tinubu rewarding any high stakeholder and governors who has not defected, rather, that when they come to the ADC, they are giving a huge sum of money, over billions. We are not talking about millions. The senators over 100 billions, and
that's thank you package for coming to APC.
So how then he the same person who is saying that critics are just trying to spoil his reputation. Yes, but you are the same person who said that you don't blame individuals jumping ship. You understand that they are all okay. You expect them to be in that same ship that you've thrown a mixer on. You don't expect. So definitely, it's not as if you would do it. You are going to do it in the open. But your actions and actions from your allies are demonstrating it. Look at the affairs of Wike in the PDP and his activities in the PDP. Definitely, Wike has been your great ally, and he has proclaimed himself to work for President Tinubu in coming 2027 general election. That Tinubu will make sure that Tinubu emerge president for the second time. So what are we talking about? It's not until you on your own at least your highlights are already demonstrating it. You understand? And he also talked about supporting so many opinions of Nigeria as a democracy state, that in a democracy country, that yes, competitive is very, very important. You understand? He talked about that, and he also talked about his commitment to democracy.
Before he talked about that commitment to democracy, yes, he actually said he thanked God that he's grateful for APC, that since 2013 APC have been optimistic about building the future. And the question is, which future are they building? Because we have not seen anything. So many Nigerians are still struggling to see what exactly APC have built since 2013, or since he came into power in 2023. What have they built? Which future are they building?
Yes, you could recall our late president Buhari was the first president who really was the first politician who used the platform of PDP to emerge as presidency in the country before he took over. You see, the ceremony that happened in the Eagle Square yesterday in Abuja is all about trying to claim yourself to be innocent in the front of the public and in the front of Nigeria as well. Let me tell President Tinubu that Nigerians are not fools. We know what is happening, behind the scene. We know everything. You understand? He was calling for unity. How can a president who is calling for unity at the same time you are not giving the regions of Nigeria a peaceful dialogue, in the sense that those things you need to implement in those sub-regions, most especially those being affected by insurgencies terribly currently, you are not even making means. It's unfortunate that he did not even address that the situation affecting the north in that, and it's also unfortunate that governors who are supposed to be dealing in the issues in their state, most especially those in this north, south, northwest, and northeast, were even taking part. I'm not saying they should deny their party convention, but nevertheless, you should stick, that this is what the people are really looking at. And it will be a shameful thing that most Nigeria, looking at the activities of this current administration, not giving clarity and focus to their mandates presently, it is a shameful thing for Nigerians who will come out. You could see the crowd yesterday undermining the situation of the country. I was even expecting most Nigerians not to even partake of that convention, to let the current administration know that, look, I am 40 somewhere. That was what I was expecting Nigerians to do. But you see, that is why they first of all orchestrate hunger in the land to persuade people to, manipulate people to partake of that convention. And of course, many of there is always a group that will come out in that mass to do as if we are solidly behind the president. We are for this convention. We are for the APC, knowing fully well that the APC is the orchestrated, the architecture of the crisis happening in the country. Talking about economic and infrastructural goal. Our dear president, of what infrastructure? Okay, he also talked about the electricity supply, talking about that. Okay, you are how many months away for the presidential election? 2027. It is now you want to fix what happened in the previous 3 years or 2 years that you've been in seat. Before
he actually talked about this electricity power supply, he talked about renewed hope agenda.
The renewed hope agenda.
And he said that agenda is not conceived by campaigns. It's not a campaign slogan, but it is conceived as a governing philosophy, which it is a campaign now. He's campaigning to come back.
That is what
then why is he bringing in electricity supply now that at this critical situation?
This is a persuasion. All these are persuading. Giving Nigeria hope.
First hope.
A false hope. Thank you. Okay, it is now you want to bring about the grid asset and management company. Since Nigeria has been suffering electricity supply, I was thinking the president. See, it's unfortunate that President Tinubu has actually come, not to really make change the way the APC
has come to campaign.
Change. If you remember the campaign, change. Now they've turned it to a renewed hope. maybe probably next time they will say heavenly hope. You understand? So you see, our politicians have a way of cajoling and manipulating the minds of this country.
Which hope are they renewing?
And it's unfortunate that Nigeria still fall for their manipulation. We should be wiser than this. You understand? That convention would have been empty if Nigeria stood their ground. But it's unfortunate people still fall to the trap of these so-called politicians. Looking at the situation of the country is not encouraging. You understand? I don't think any reasonable human being observing how Nigeria's democracy has backslided, how our institutions have stick themselves to this current administration and manipulating every other affair of political forums in the country. It's unfortunate that so many Nigerians still went ahead and stick to that so-called convention. So I think we should be wiser than this and let our politicians realize their mistake, know their fault, and work towards it rather than trying to cover up for them every time.
All right, thank you so much, Ojalo. You know, there's a very sad story. The spotlight fell. We're still talking about President Tinubu. You know, he sent his condolence message to Nasiri el-Rufai, who recently lost his mother yesterday, March 27, 2026, at Cairo, Egypt, yes, over a brief sickness, and he was actually given a companion. He was released just to go and mourn his mother and also buried her. Now the president has sent his condolence message to her. What do you have to say about this? Because this condolence message, it doesn't really look like it is genuine from the president. It's just playing to the gallery.
El-Rufai, you know, has been a prominent person, and he's still a prominent person in the country. And if you look at most analysis and most you know, discussions from high stakeholders around the country, even in the media houses, you discover that all these are just a setup. You know, President Tinubu has his way of doing things. Well, first of all, my condolences to the former Kaduna State Governor el-Rufai. At least being in custody and at the same time your mom died at the process is a very bitter taste, and it's not going to be a very, as in this will even give him more leverage to take drastic action towards this administration. You understand? In his mind is whatever comes to the worst, let it be. And he's ready to do anything to orchestrate Tinubu's downfall. You understand? Yeah. And that is one of the reasons why Nigerians believe that Tinubu had to incarcerate him by making sure the ICPC hold him hostage. You understand? You see, 2027 is an already corner. If you look at this manipulative move, it's for el-Rufai not to have it because he knows him. El-Rufai was among those cabals who made sure that Tinubu gained stand in the political affairs, becoming a president. You could recall. They were very good allies, good friends. You see him dancing in shows, party and all of that. But now, he's now in the opposition. And because, just as he said, he's now a repentant, you understand, politician. Being in a political forum that has destroyed Nigeria's democracy. So he doesn't want to be a part of it. And that is why, you understand, and he has been making emphasis that he made a mistake for surrendering himself. To me, I don't see that as a mistake. I see that as a leading means of a real leader. You understand? Trying to, you know, quench any allegations raised against him. It's not a mistake. A lot of people are saying he made a mistake. It's not a mistake, yeah? It's not a mistake. You understand? So I think el-Rufai should take heart in this instance and nevertheless not give up in this so-called trial he has found himself. I think the political affairs of Nigeria currently, I mean President Tinubu's administration, is just trying to frustrate his legacy. So
the condolence message that the president sent to him, is it a genuine one?
Oh yes, you know, to make Nigerians feel, oh, he's a president with a genuine heart. He has to do it. Anybody would do that. You understand? Anybody would do that. So be genuine or not genuine, it is rightful for the president to do. He has been a state governor. He has been a minister. el-Rufai has partaken in so many political affairs of Nigeria. So he should be, be giving condolences even from someone beyond President Tinubu. As a matter of fact, even if President Donald Trump does give his condolences, anytime soon. He wants it because he has played a big role in this country, so he deserves it. And secondly, I think you know, the ICPC, whatever it takes for them to really hasten up his so-called trials should be done immediately. Keeping him in custody is not, it doesn't want it. You understand? If they are afraid of his demonstration on the current upcoming election, if they are really afraid, they should take up another task rather than keeping him in castration. It's uncalled for. Whatever you are afraid of by el-rufai, it shows that you are not even worthy of even contesting election again. El-rufai worked under you, and why should you be scared of his motive and his move towards your re-campaign? You understand? So I think our president should do beyond this.
All right, thank you so much, Ojalo. Very quickly, we jumped into the next story. Okay. Sunday Igboho, the Yoruba activist. Agitator. Yes, the Yorubas has come out to criticize him and to tell him to focus more on fighting security and not to oppress those that are against the administration. They made mention that he used to fight for the Oduduwa, the Yoruba's Oduduwa freedom. Yes. But because the present administration actually granted him pardon on his run, he is now siding them. He has stopped criticizing them. He's now siding them, even going as far as releasing videos and voice notes warning people not that no politician should come to Yoruba and campaign if it's not for President Tinubu. And then whoever that is against him, he goes as far as arresting them. He even arrested one popular TikToker, something Tinker. He arrested that one because the person is a supporter of Peter Obi. He arrested the person. Now, looking at this Sunday Igboho, that so many Nigerians already know him as a Yoruba activist and a voice for the Yorubas. Now, why is he now against the Yorubas? He's not, instead of protecting them, instead of fighting insecurity, instead of doing the right thing, he has now turned his back on them. Well,
first of all, initially I used to think Yoruba are very, very sided people to their own. But now I can really give kudos to the Igbomo Majeku Baje group. That is what they call them. Igbomo Majeku Baje group of Yoruba land. That is a union. Forum for the Yoruba, just as we have, you know, the Southeast Forum and some other forums there, like the Igbo, what do you call the Ahanese group. So they also have their own. They call the Igbemo Jakubaje group in Yoruba land. So I really give kudos to them, at least for realizing their own, and they are able to caution him. You see, you know, there are some stubborn dogs. If you don't change them on time, they might harm your neighbors unknowingly to you. So that is, you see, Sunday Igboho, you know, initially I used to praise him, but now I have realized that he's just a puppet. You know, in terms of arresting a TikToker, he would have come for me because I've been a great critic to President Tinubu. Why did he not come for me? So, you see, Sunday Igboho has not really demonstrated what it means to be an agitator. Okay, when the other monarch the other time was comparing him and Manzina the Kanu, I laughed because you see, so the who cannot stand. If you talk about agitator standard, he can't even go to 2% of that of Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? There are far clear differences. This is someone that can easily be controlled. You know, it's like a toy that there's a button behind the back. When you press it, it does. Or even a dog that you give the dog bone, it will follow you. That is present Sunday Igboho state. You understand? So nobody should try and compare him with that of Mazin Nadi. There's a far gap. You understand? So he has not really demonstrated well. If you recall, when he was trying to threaten Peter Obi not to come to Yoruba land to make a campaign or whatever. When we say we are practicing a democracy, we are in a country that has citizens' rights. When we have how will I call it now? We have sections in the national constitution that give citizens right of movement, right to speak, and right to do whatever you want to, as far as you are in Nigeria. But now you don't have those rights again. See, these are the kind of people that when they become president, or sorry, a leader tomorrow, a governor, that whatever, when they find themselves in a bad administrative policy, they play to the tune of that bad administration and use it to hinder their people. That is the case of Sunday Igboho. I really like the Yoruba Union telling him that the strength you are using to fight oppositions, why not use it to tackle the insurgencies and the what they call them, the terrorist crisis happening in Kwara State. You know, Kwara is also part of the Southwest.
Yes.
You understand? Why not use that might to fight the Fulanis? Why are you quiet on them? You understand? The strength you are using to attack on. Okay, you talked about him arresting a TikToker. Why didn't he make sure that he organized a subgroup? Okay, even they call themselves, is it OPM something? Is it OPC? Yes. In Lagos, there's a forum, Oduduwa, I can't the full meaning, but OPC, if you go to Lagos, there's a forum, just as you have a Oxpa in River State. There's a forum you can call OPC, so they are just like vigilantes as well. Why can't he, gather them, group them in numbers? Okay, let us go to the front line. Any terrorists, any insurgencies in our forests, in our regions, let us bring them down. Instead of, you see, it shows that you are not even worthy of being an agitator. So he should go and position himself where he should. You understand? You are not even in the criteria of an agitator. That is my message for Sunday Igboho. And it would have been a good thing if you really go to the face of terrorists and challenge them. That is when Yoruba would know that yes, indeed, we have an agitator. In terms of even, see, when people say, oh, it's because of President Tinubu who pardoned him that he had to say, it's not. No. The so-called exile, which exile? Sunday Igboho, as a matter of fact, never knew what exile is. I can state the fact. Oyo State is town. It's just like the River State and the border of Akwa Ibom or Abia State. So look at Oyo State, look at Benin Republic. That was not going to exile. Someone who went for exile would have left overseas. You understand? So when people are saying he went for it, if they really want to capture him, maybe
just like President Tinubu went to UK.
Exactly. That is when you say someone went for an exile. If former President Buhari wanted to really capture him and imprison him, he would have done that. So all this, he went to exile, those are just news of brainwashing Nigeria. So I give kudos to the Yoruba group who have really called him to his senses and stop behaving like a dog who is after a bone. To me, that is what he's doing. You understand? So if you really want to partake in advocacy, really stand for the mandate of your people rather than trying to, go for the oppositions. You understand? So I realize I give kudos to this Yoruba forum who have realized the importance of every other region in Nigeria to be a one state, and you have right to dominate anywhere you find yourself in the country. So
in other words, the Yorubas have lost interest in him.
Of course, lost interest in him, and the DSS should also do their work, just as the group stated.
All right, thank you so much, Ojalo. Coming up next is terrorists deserve rehabilitation. Stay tuned. Still on the show, State of the Matters, I am Cassie Tony with Kings Ojalo. Kings Ojalo, our amiable Chief of Defense Staff, General Oluyede, in his statement, was comparing terrorists with the prodigal son. How? How? That the terrorists, they deserve second chance. This stirred a lot of reactions.
Of course.
A lot of reaction from Nigerians, which I am going to read few of that reactions. An ex-user actually said, giving terrorists a biblical chance while citizens die on our soil is not mercy. It is a policy of pain. Repentance is personal. Security is the government's duty. Nigeria cannot wait for morality to catch up with murderers. Now, another person also said, another user also dropped a comment, said, this is nothing but an encouragement to the average Nigerian to commit evil, disturb the peace of communities, shed blood, and inflict pain on hopeless and powerless and unharmed people, knowing fully well that they may still be given a second chance to live as if they committed nothing. This is the Chief of Army Defense Staff. Does this man know the reason for his position? If we are using the Bible to forgive anyone, then what's the need for the army? Let pastors be handling the security of the nation since it's forgiveness that been used. Very funny joker. Clearly, the CDS, he doesn't know his work. He doesn't know the reason why he's there. He doesn't even know his duty as chief of defense staff, because recently in Borno State, over 20 people died.
And displaced.
In 2014, to count back, Boko Haram insurgents kidnapped over 270 children, over 270 schoolgirls, that's Chibok girls, when Goodluck Jonathan was on seat in a community is still in Borno State.
And they didn't have passion on them.
And they did not have passion on them. Nigerian government actually reported that they paid over 10 billion naira to release these people. And he's saying that they need pardon, they need second chance. He's talking about they need second chance. A whole Boko Haram that has been terrorizing this country since 2009. They need a second chance. That man, he clearly does not know what he's doing. He does not know his duty, because these people have killed over 350,000 people. 90% of children.
3 years.
For how many years? No, if you're counting from 2009.
Okay.
These are all the things that they've done. And he said they need second chance. No, they do not deserve second chance, because even the Bible said, suffer not the witch to live. Yes.
But bandits are not witches.
They are witches.
They are not witches.
They are witches. They are witches.
Well, see,
and why is he even comparing the prodigal son to bandits?
That is where
prodigal son only went with the father's property.
Yes, that is
he went with his own part of inheritance, enjoyed and came back. This one, they didn't go with any inheritance. They are killing. Since they know that killing is a good thing, then they should face the wrath.
Yeah, you shouldn't be too much. You shouldn't be much.
No, Kings, you don't understand what it means to lose a family member, because if you understand the pains, the gravity of what they've done, then that's Olufemi should not even open his mouth to say that they deserve pardon, because he does not know his job. He should just go to his house and relax.
Kasi, you shouldn't take it too personal, because I can really feel your grief on this. Well, it's what's being taken personal, and I really understand your point of view. You see, we shouldn't really blame the CDS General.
No,
Olufemi.
blame him. He doesn't know his job. In a whole gathering, he wasn't even afraid to even open his mouth and say these people deserve second chance. How?
Okay, let me come in, Cassie. Just give me let me come in. You see, we are looking at a general who is speaking from a perspective of pardoning, and even before he came into this position, you could recall even in the time of Buhari, where bandits were given pardon, and the worst part of it, they were given pardon. Not just they were not released, but they were also asked to join the army. You understand? So I think he's actually recalculating past events, and he's also talking from a biblical view, because to me he didn't know what he was saying. Nigeria, please, I apologize on behalf of.
No, you don't have to apologize. If he doesn't know, if he doesn't know the Bible, then why bring it up?
He's our CDS. If the chief of defense staff, let's take the fact here. So you see, if he's really trying to point the biblical issue, he should first of all know that the prodigal son was not a killer. He only took his father's wealth and misused it. Yes. Probably if these bandits were given a portion of Nigeria and they misused it and, come into Nigeria and ask for our administration, re-help again, that is when you can classify them as a prodigal son. But these are killers. You understand? Even in the same Bible, when I think the Philistines, killed some part of Israel, and even God had to enforce the Israelites to make sure that they struck back. You understand? That is when the era of people like Samson came, who stood for the Israelites, many of them. So that was a slip of tongue. You understand? Because if he really knew what he was saying, he wouldn't have even mentioned the Bible. You're making excuses
for this man. There's nothing like slip of the tongue. He slept over it. He calculated the speech he was going to give at the gathering.
Everyone make mistakes.
No, it wasn't a mistake. That was deliberate act.
It was a means of voluntary redemption. He was talking of redemption, and anybody can really have a mind of having redemptionality for an individual or anyone who impersonates federal activities. Now, you see, to my dear Oluyede, I think we should really state the fact. For one, I'm not in support of his pardoning terrorists. You understand? Even if you don't want to kill them, they should be detained. They should face the law and punity should be given to them. You know, strict penalties and punishment should be given to them. That is my own suggestion. Yes, I agree they are human beings, but human beings who have been brainwashed and who have been trained to kill citizens unlawfully, you understand, without any proper reason. There are people who have come into this country to displace lots, and if you look at it, if our dear Chief of Defense Staff is not alert, I'm telling you, these terrorists, I said it times without number on this platform, that terrorists, their aim is to capture this country totally, to remove the current administration. As a matter of fact, input an Islamic cleric to be the head of Nigeria, just like what happened in Iran. That is what Nigeria is facing. So it is a very simple thing. Our dear Chief of Defense Staff is not by giving them amnesty. Amnesty is not what these people need right now. They should be chased, or there should be a kind of a settlement. I ask them to leave our territory. It's as simple as that.
And you think they will leave?
That is what.
The best is for them to die. They should kill them the way they've been killing people. They should face the wrath.
If he have sympathy on there that they shouldn't be killed, it's for them to leave our territory as soon as possible, because constant occupants of Nigeria by these terrorists will cause chaos continuously. You understand?
This has actually
I'm giving him two options. Is either they are killed, is either they are either captured and to face the law, or they should leave Nigeria's territory.
And go to where?
Of
and
course,
go and terrorize another place.
They should go back to.
They should kill them the way they have been killing people.
As far as Nigerians are concerned, these people should not be in our boundaries.
They shouldn't even be anywhere.
So
because no life is worth
now
dying.
Let me come in fully, Cassie. You know, I've been talking about our leaders and our chief. If you recall, I think yesterday, yes, I made mention of our leaders should tell us what they want. Our Chief of Defense Staff, you know, trying to sideline this so-called bandit, should tell us what they really want. Is it that you want bandits to dwell among Nigeria and cause more menace? You understand? So that is what
at this point our leaders don't know what they want, and even the Chief of Defense Staff, he does not know his duty, and that leaves me thinking maybe his child is even one of the bandits or maybe his family, because how can somebody come out and say they deserve second chance? Do you know what it means to lose these people? They've lost their family members.
And he fails to realize that when they apprehend citizens, they don't give them second chance. They kill them
immediately, and
you fail to pay some ransom. You are not able to provide it. You are being killed immediately.
And he's saying they deserve second chance.
Well, no, I think he's speaking from the perspective of this position. You understand?
I know. Even from the perspective of his position, he doesn't know his position.
Chief of Defense Staff and also this current administration should realize that there are innocent Nigerians who are not even in the insurgency incident. Even in our own lawful custodies, the prisons, the Nigeria police prisons and the military barracks, there are a lot of innocent people suffering in the hands of even our own military.
Which he's even supposed to grant them amnesty.
Exactly. There are innocent people in prison currently as we speak, facing facing charges that they are not even, a part of, facing, crime that they not even partake of. Why can't our military look into all those things? Why can't our IGP look into all those things rather than trying to give insurgencies amnesty or bandit amnesty? So you can see that there is something wrong in our head of state, our head of service, and also our head of military. I think all this should call for what our former President Tinubu do: reappoint people who really know how to take on this job.
Even the people he's reappointing don't even know their job. Let's leave it for Nigerians to deliberate on it. Thank you so much, Ojalo. That's where we draw the curtain for today's edition of State of the Matters. Many thanks, Ojalo, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Cassie. It's my pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
And to you, amazing viewers, for tuning in. I am Cassie Tony, reminding you to stay informed and stay ahead, and do well to join us next time for more breaking news across Nigeria. Do have a lovely weekend.